You're one of the folks that is planning to or already made a video telling black Americans why aren't they supporting at the protest right now. Stop it. Do better. Black Americans don't owe anybody nothing. Folks are pushing this narrative because they showed up during the BLM movement and now black Americans need to step up for us. That's not how it works. We didn't show up to support for the sake of them getting us back in the future. We support causes like that because it's the right thing to do. Because humanity comes first. ¿Me entiendes? I even saw some folks leave comments like, Africans ran to Mexico to escape slavery in the US. What are you saying? The folks in Mexico that embraced the protected, those that were seeking safety, did it because it was the right thing to do. For you to act like people owe us something is crazy. Let me add a few more things. There are hella black Americans supporting the protests right now, the right side of history, and they're doing it because it's the right thing to do, because humanity comes first. And also, just like the Latino community, they are not a monolith. Just like we have our colonizer pets, supported trompas, that are celebrating deportations, there are folks like that in every community as well, but they do not represent the entire community. But honestly, instead of pushing your energy asking people, why are they not here? Why are they not supporting us? Put that energy towards your conservative tío, tu primo cara de pato that voted for this, and hella energy in pushing politicians. Call them, email them, call them out on social media to advocate to do the right thing for humanity, to be on the right side of history. This is a big topic. I could talk so much more about this, but I'm gonna stop right here. Familia, what did I miss? And if you agree with what I said, don't forget to follow. Send this to someone that needs to hear it.
Okay, so he's saying that black Americans don't owe Hispanics anything, but then also this is the right thing to do. It's just funny because I happen to be in the comment section. This lady actually breaks it down better. We cannot expect black people to stand with us when we turn on them every chance we get. This is a Hispanic person. The Latino community has a deep anti-blackness problem that we refuse to deal with. We align ourselves with whiteness and then act shocked when we're left to face the consequences alone. We vote against our own people. We stay silent when black lives are on the line. And then we ask for solidarity? No, that's not how this works. Until we confront how white supremacy has infiltrated our community, from the way we vote to the way we talk about each other, we will keep destroying ourselves. No one is coming to save us. We have to do that ourselves, and it starts with taking a hard look in the mirror. This is something that the presenter didn't want to talk about. He's like, no, they don't owe us anything, but he didn't go into why blacks didn't want to do it. He still was talking about it's still the right thing to do. But again, it was a BS argument and it wasn't genuine. All right. He was trying to get some cool points, but the lady really broke it down what the real issue is. And I like for people to talk about what the real issues are. Listen, the black community understands that you have a deep rooted sense of whiteness. According to her, a lot of blacks feel like what she talked about, and she's right, in my honest opinion. That's why a lot of blacks did not want to support this. Whatever the hell he's talking about, the guy is ridiculous.
I'll say this, right? I'm a nobody, but it's like I've been seeing so many people asking Asian creators to speak up about the whole riots in LA and all these deportation things. This is something that a lot of people don't understand. Asian people, we support the country. Mm-hmm. We support, the betterment of the country. We support that. So what is there to say? We support the deportations of illegals. Mm-hmm. It is honestly tiring because here's the thing. We want the country to be better. We want the country to be better. We want the country to, if you did it legally, if you stand in line, if you paid the price, right? You paid the money and all that, you did all the process, the paperwork, all the stuff, which usually most Asian people do. Why would we care about someone jumping in line, crossing the border and all this stuff? Why should we, be happy about that?
So this is what, those of us that's the, historically African-American, #FBA, ADOS. A lot of us may feel that people who come over to America that become citizens, they want all of their friends and families to come over. And that's simply not true. I've talked to Ugandans on the ground, Nigerians on the ground, Kenyans on the ground. And if you may have a conversation with them, how do you feel about more Ugandans coming to America, more Kenyans coming to America? Here's what they'll say. Well, I would like my friends and family to come to America, but as a whole, no. Like, you'll start hearing them talking about how their own group don't support each other. Hey, they've said it on our own podcast. So many people do not want, them coming over. Just like a lot of African Americans in Africa that come over here and they have a good situation going on in Nairobi they have a good situation going on in Chigali or in Kampala. You ask African Americans, like, do you want a lot of black Americans coming over? You're gonna be like, whoa, well, not really. It's just a normal thing. Like, you know what I mean? People can be different. So we can't assume just because they're Asian or they're Hispanic, they want these immigrants coming over, because remember, they left those places for a reason, right? And they feel like these people also do them harm.
Be happy about that. We're not really this is the thing where we're not really dependent. Asian people aren't really dependent on migrant labor, right? Not like other people. We're not really dependent on migrant labor. So we're not gonna cry that the U.S. is pretty much backing what they promised. The U.S. promised, or
Trump,
this presidency promised, that they would deport illegal immigrants.
Yep.
They're doing that. Why are you crying? Why are you crying about it? This is the thing where, you see it, like these immigrants are waving the flags of other countries.
Yes.
Burning down the flag of the U.S.
Yes.
And then you think Asian people want to support that? No, they want to stay away from that. They don't want to be grouped in with these people. That's the thing. Asian people want to, focus on themselves and their community and their country. They don't want to be grouped in with these people. So really, stop asking Asian influencers to speak up about it.
Damn.
Because you won't like what they say.
Whoa.
You won't like what they say.
Whoa.
So really, it's better off that they do the content that they're doing instead of, say things you don't like. Because here's the thing. Asian people don't want to focus on the negativity and, say what they're really thinking. Deport, right? Deport illegal immigrants. They are fine with it.
So this guy got a lot of hate on TikTok for making this particular video, but for those wondering why the Asians aren't saying anything, he could be one of the reasons.
Now, I'm seeing this question pop up a lot. Why is the Asian community so quiet on the ICE raid topic? Now, I'm not speaking for all Asian people, but this is just my point of view. My family's from Laos. My parents spent years in refugee camps before being able to come here legally. So a lot of us from a very young age was taught accountability. We were getting lectures after lectures after lectures on doing the right thing. Getting our ass beat for doing wrong things. So there are a lot of Asian people that are for deportations of, illegals. And not everybody, okay? Not all Asian people are for it, but I see most of us are.
Now this is important because the other guy was like, a lot, but he's saying the same thing.
And we understand why you want to come here illegally and skip the process. People just want to live good lives, do better for themselves. But there is a right way of doing things. So if you do come here illegally and get caught, you need to take accountability for your actions. That's why a lot of times if you see an Asian person get deported, we don't make a big fuss about it because, they got to take accountability for their actions. And they know that. We don't have hate towards law enforcement because, they're just doing their part. They're just doing their jobs because they didn't do their part.
Right.
And we do feel terrible about, or at least I do feel terrible about, families being ripped apart. But, they know the risk involved and they were willing to take that risk. Again, you got to take accountability. And a lot of people refer Asians as, model immigrants because, we are here to better ourselves, get an education, respect law and order. We just don't want any trouble. Like, we want peaceful lives. And so if we do get in trouble for something that we did, then we own up to it. That's it. So my heart does go out to the families of the deported. Hopefully they can find their way back, hopefully legal, so that they may, live peaceful lives. I wish y'all the best.
That's another thing I don't understand. Like, somebody comes from another place, they come into the country illegal. All of a sudden, they have a family here, and it's like, oh, well, you're ripping apart families and not looking at the fact that you should be here or that you're there illegally. Let me just tell you something, man. I have a work permit here in Uganda. I renew it every 3 years. But there are cases of people here in Uganda that are here illegally. And some of those people have families. If you're unlucky enough to get caught, and I don't know how tight the immigration is on a person like that. But if they deport you and you're here in the country illegally, you may or may not be contributing legally to the development of the country. People are just not going to say, well, he has a family, let him stay. A lot of folks are going to be like, but he's here illegally. You know, let's say, for example, he's taking up resources like food or electricity. I mean, again, you can think about it in those terms, but that's something that should be for a citizen. What if he's getting opportunity? How's he supporting themselves? Does he have illegal businesses? I remember there are a lot of people here illegally from China. They're running illegal businesses here, competing with businesses that Ugandans have. There's other Africans too. So what is the impact on a Ugandan's life when you're there illegally and this is their country? It's the same thing in America. Like Tariq Nasheed had a video of this particular guy, and the guy is selling illegal Beats by Dre. So now, not only is the guy selling stolen merchandise, he's taking money from Beats by Dre because you're stealing. You've probably stole those from an iPhone store or Apple store. Again, and then you're taking up resources. You're taking up spots at a homeless shelter. You should be somewhere else. You shouldn't be in America illegally.
Before you deport them, pay them. Yes, pay them their money. Because these people have been living in this nation for decades, paying into a system that they will never get a dime from. They will never be able to withdraw Social Security. And the United States has collected in the billions of taxes from all these undocumented people, from all these criminals. So before you put handcuffs on them, before you put them on a plane, before you send them back, pay them back. Because why would you create a TIN number, a tax identification number, knowing damn well you were going to collect billions of dollars from all these undocumented people that you knew they were never going to withdraw from?
I do see her point in this, right? She does make a somewhat of a point, like give them their money because you guys set up a TIN. But look at this comment. The illegals have already been paid. Free housing, free medical care, free education for their children. Free is something they have been given crossing the border illegally. Americans are paying for their well-being here in the United States. They have been paid by all this free stuff. They got plenty already. These people sent billions of dollars to their home country, so they got opportunity. And if they got opportunity, they may have gotten opportunity at the behalf or at the downfall of somebody else. If I come to Uganda as a worker, all right, not as an investor or an entrepreneur, because most people that come to a third world country, you're investing into the country, creating opportunity. But let's say if I came here and I was a digital strategist and I worked in the private sector. If somebody here was able to do their job and I got the opportunity, then I'm taking an opportunity away from somebody else. Okay, that's a situation. I'm taking opportunity from Uganda. And the way I look at illegals come to America is either you're here to do stuff that absolutely nobody wants to do, or you are an investor, like I am here. You're an investor. You're creating opportunity for the American public or something like that. If you're not, nobody owes you anything. So guys, it's your boy Yoshi D. Jackson back at again with another episode of Fair Use on Kinganda. I'm out.